Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. Real Late Hot 97. We're at it again. Shouts to my man Top Shelf Premium. Shouts to my man Big Cac.
Big shout out to Mark and Big Cac. You already know.
To Grand Rapids, Michigan, ATL. Willie the Kid is on the program. What up, man?
Oh man, this is great. This is awesome.
It is. It's awesome. It's awesome for me too, man. So let's tell a little people, tell a little bit about your story for the people and your come up in the game in Michigan and where things begin and where you're at now. Get people familiar with young Willie the Kid.
Yeah, for sure. From Grand Rapids, Michigan, West Michigan. Moved to Atlanta to go to college, pursue some music. Bumped into some guys you might have heard of before, Don Cannon, DJ Drama. Hung out with those guys for a while, and together we built. You heard of them before, right? We got together, built a brand called Affiliates, and the Gangsta Grills movement came from that, and it pretty much birthed this explosion in the mixtape scene, and signed a deal with those guys, with Warner and Asylum, put an album out, pivoted, got into some entrepreneurial things in my community, started a few startups, and started doing music on a different note, on my own, independent with my own situation, and here we are today.
So then take us before we get to like kind of where you are now and the sort of the reemergence and people sort of recognizing what you're capable of.
Right.
Take me through the first run then, because I'm guessing, was the pivot just like you felt like going for a change, or was it not moving the way you wanted it to move? How did your first run? Because that sounds complex because you're working with these guys who obviously are so successful and things are going so well. Right. But I'm guessing if things had gone the way you planned the first time, you wouldn't be a new artist essentially in 2020.
Ain't that some shit? Yeah.
Right.
I basically have my Hawaiian Sophie, Juvenile Hell, We Love You, Rakim, Words from the Genius moment, my shiny suit moment. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what happens to a lot of artists. Like, I have my grassroots beginnings and things I was doing as an artist. But when I signed on to the majors, my management team at the time and the majors all had opinions about the way Willie the Kid should sound. And it was different than the way I came into the door. My whole time, I'm thinking, if these are things that got the people's attention, why are we changing it to fit a mold? You know what I mean? So that's my Love You, Rakim moment. You know what I mean? I came back with the woo, basically. So now this resurgence is just me doing it my way, doing it the way I see fit, doing it the way it feels natural to me. And the response is better than ever. I'm feeling good about it.
So when did this reemergence come? Because you've done joints now for a minute. You have big records with, loved records with Rock Marcy. You've been around here for a minute, grinding now. So it's part 2 of Willie the Kid, the Woo era version. When did that start, and how did it get rolling?
I'm gonna be honest, man. It really began in about like 2010, maybe 09. And I'm still with my group. I'm still with my guys, but I'm telling them, hey, I don't think people are getting the message. I don't think the message is being transferred properly. I think what people are perceiving of who I am and what I do and my abilities and even my mindset is getting lost in translation through the big brands like Atlantic and Warner and Asylum and DJ Drama and Affiliates. And, all these different things are starting to sort of, instead of helping the vision, instead of enunciating the vision, it's starting to take from the vision a little bit. So I took a step back and I powered myself up and just basically started like 09, 2010. So it's a mixtape called The Fly, and it's an EP called Never a Dull Moment. And they date back to 09, 2010. And that's the beginning of me doing it my own way and taking control of what I'm doing. And I also knew I had to, put some more reinforcement behind my personal portfolio. So I went back to my hometown, got with my guys, and we recently got into some ventures. We opened up our own nightclub downtown Grand Rapids, the first entertainment venue African-American owned in 18 years. We started the Spirits line. We sell champagne. We got 250 stores carrying the champagne. We just partnered up with a Fortune 500 grocery called Meijer. It's the biggest grocery store in the Midwest. If you're from the area, we're the only African-American owned craft spirit in that store. We got vodka as well. Again, 250 locations. Other than the GOAT, the OG Hove, I'm probably the only artist that owns a DSP. It's called Radiator. It's basically a geolocation app to showcase emerging and independent artists globally, all genres. We'll get more into that later. But yeah, I think other than the OG, I'm probably the only artist that's a shareholder in the DSP right now. Also a movie producer. I'm working with Tyree Turner out in LA. The guy's responsible for growing up hip hop and Uncorked. It's a film called Langston Hughes Unfurled. We got with PBS and HBO just signed on as well. I'm the executive producer of that film with a couple of my guys out as well. I mean, I just took it to a whole another level, Rosenberg. The music wasn't enough. You know what I mean?
I hope people are paying attention right now. I hope as you're driving, you're getting inspired because I did not know. I knew about the club. I didn't know about the Spirit line. I didn't know about your tech ventures. I didn't know how many things you had going.
Oh man, it's ridiculous. I mean, that's only the half. I mean, I have another tech venture I'm on the board of. It's called Midwest Tech Project. We're launching a venture called Tech X, where we're providing free technical training for returning citizens. So if you went to jail, you've been away for a while, you come home, we know employment opportunities are slim in our communities. We're offering free training for tech jobs to get brothers and sisters jobs who coming home from jail. I'm on the board for that as well. So other things, man.
You basically put yourself in a situation while you're having this emergence as an artist. Now, normally it takes a long time for people to get to a point where they can do the music without the pressures of financial benefit.
Right.
But you're in an interesting spot where you're early on in your career, but you can make decisions that are not all based on having to chase money.
That's how I began, right? I knew what I wanted to do as an artist. And then when everybody else got involved and suggested what I should do for monetary gains as an artist, that's why I went wrong the first time. So the money I did make, I immediately went home, invested in some real estate projects, put some money away here, invested in some other things. And when the returns started, that's why I called the project capital gains, by the way. When those gains started coming back, I immediately put it into other things so that I'm not working and rapping for the money. Now I can be the artist I want to be without any risk, without any pressure, as you say, right, to perform a certain type of way. Been living good ever since. The money right, so I'm not really tripping about doing things for money artistically anymore. Now I got that freedom, and it's a golden spot for any artist to have that creative freedom without feeling any pressures.
All right, I want to play a couple of songs off the new project.
Yes, sir.
And you just dropped two projects back to back, right? The most recent one is the joint with V-Don?
Yeah, Deutschmarks 2, the sequel. Deutschmarks, the sequel, me and V-Don. Absolutely.
Because you've dropped a bunch recently. If you're not listening, you know how things work these days in 2020. Just go get on your streaming service and type in Willie the Kid, and you will see many. It's all there, including that new project with V-Don. We're going to play a couple joints right now so you can hear exactly who Willie the Kid is. And then when we come back, I want to ask you a little bit more about Grand Rapids, Michigan, and about what you think of the scene in general these days, and the time we're living in. And Willie the Kid is here. Grand Rapids to Atlanta to New York City. It's Real 8 Hot 97.
Let's do it.
Real 8 Hot 97. Willie the Kid is on the program. Willie, where are you at right now? Are you in Atlanta? Are you in?
I'm in Atlanta. Yeah, I just got back from Michigan. We trying to tie things up for this nightclub. You know, the COVID is an obstacle we jumping over right now, but I just made it back to Atlanta. We're here.
So is Atlanta is your primary base of operation now?
Yeah, I got a couple properties here, and I got one in Grand Rapids as well. So I'm back and forth, you know, moving around.
And is it difficult putting together a business, this club you're starting, like you said, during COVID right now? I mean, how do you plan? How do you get work done? What's the process like?
I'm gonna tell you, I have a fantastic team, man. Shout out to my man Jonathan Jelks, my man Jamil Robinson, my man Chill, big homie Lacey. I got a good team. My man AJ. Everybody takes on the role to make sure this happens. So when I'm not there, my team is still working 100%, and when I'm there, that's that 120%. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much, and I'm used to going back and forth all the time. I did the same thing when music was the primary focus. It's the same thing. You're always traveling, hitting different spaces in order to put some paint where it ain't. But as far as the COVID, you know, we're just making our adjustments, but, you know, everything is still good. It's a long way to open it as soon as possible. We're waiting for, they said the second wave is coming, so the governor's shutting it back down again. So, you know, as soon as possible. I'm hoping to get everybody in the doors February, March. And as soon as we do, we're bringing you out. We're bringing you out, just so you know. You will be there.
Hey, Les, I will be in Grand Rapids.
Everything is on us. Flight, hotel, drinks,
Oh, I
party.
love
We got you. We got you.
Listen,
Come on out, party.
I was going to say, I feel like there's almost one thing that people are neglecting, understandably, because people are under pressure and people have businesses and they're losing money. But someone like you is in an interesting spot because you didn't own the place previously. You're not losing money because you weren't open.
Bingo.
So you can wait. If I'm you, I'm moving as slowly as I need to right now.
Exactly.
So when you open, you're at 100% capacity and people are ready to party again.
That's right. We were about to open when it hit. We were about to open, like maybe like 2 weeks. We're about to open. We're like ready to go. And the best thing we were blessed, man. The best thing that happened was we wasn't open when the COVID hit. That was the best thing ever. So we just kept all our resources reserved and just held back and waited it out and see what's going to happen next. And that's the best thing that happened to us. And they said we can open up at a limited capacity and everything, but we want to be a premier entertainment venue downtown. We don't want to just sell wings to go and shit like that. Like we want to be people to come in and have a drink and have a good night, happy hour, and bring acts out and different bands and different artists. We want this to really be a real live entertainment venue. So we want to wait till we can do it the right way.
What's Grand Rapids like culturally, hip hop scene wise, generally culturally? Just I don't know much about Grand Rapids, period.
For sure. It's the second biggest city in the state of Michigan. It's actually a powerhouse in the Midwest. It's probably one of the most resilient cities in the region. While Detroit was going through their transitions with the depression and the automotive industry, Grand Rapids was rebuilding. It's a hub for cancer research. It's a hub for technology right now. I literally saw them rebuild that entire city while the whole world was trying to patch itself together. It's a thriving place for opportunities for anybody right now. But traditionally, African Americans didn't get their fair shake. And I think what's happening right now, what we're doing is we're lighting the torch and leading the path on changing up that narrative right now. So guys like us who qualified ourselves from that town and can get the things together, need to get together resource-wise and opportunity-wise. It's a grand opportunity for us, man. Grand opportunity. It's a great place. A lot of good talent out there.
Who's the biggest artist ever from Grand Rapids?
Willie the Kid.
I'm a big fan. I think he's a great kid. I think he's a great guy.
But you know Floyd Mayweather is from there, right? Highest paid athlete of all time. He's from Grand Rapids. A pure legend, not only in boxing, but in athleticism, period. President Gerald R. Ford is there. From there. I mean, a leadership in the government and global impact for politics are concerned. I mean, the DeBarges are from there. Al DeBarge, Chico DeBarge, that family is from there. Al Green is from there. I mean, legends, goats, man, all goats.
Wow. You know what? I got to tell you, I didn't even realize that the DeBarges and Al Green were from Grand Rapids.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the music these days. It's been a really neat time. The last few months, the artists I've had on the show, Rashid Chappelle was on last week. It's a really quality time. You're like someone who's really into music, to bars, to I kind of like to think of it as almost like classic hip hop with a new updated vibe. The pocket is different. A lot of you guys all have a slightly different pocket than the OGs did. People are writing beats differently, but at the same time, it's those classic beats, soul samples, gritty-ish. Just how good do you think the scene is, and who are some of the artists that you're checking for and that make you want to continue to work and push your pen more?
For sure. I gotta say, I feel really rewarded right now because this new wave, this new sound, I've been curating this sound since 2010, 2009. I came out during the ringtone era. So it was hard to get bars off and boom bap beats off during the ringtone era. And then that transition to the blog era when it was the Shout to Not Right and Two Dope Boys and Rap Radar and those guys on Smash, all hip hop. Then I was doing my thing during that era with this sound that we're talking about right now. And then now we're in this new streaming era. And I think now we're in a place where people can comfortably enjoy the music that they like without compromise. We're not relying on just the radio. We're not relying on just a blog site. Now you can get on your phone and get on the streaming app and play whatever you want to play. So it gives people a comfortable option to go into their spaces as listeners and a comfortable option to create as an artist. Me, myself, I'm a big fan of everybody. My man V Dawn, man, if you go through his catalog, he's produced for everybody, man, from a Dave East to a Trader Truth to a Ito to a Vado to a Griselda he produced for everybody. Rock Marcy, Dark Low. I think his catalog sort of represents this wave we're talking about right now too. You can pull from his albums and hear a little bit of everything and everybody on that landscape. You know, shout out my man Ito, of course. We got Heather Gray, if you haven't heard that. It's an EP with me, him, and V Dawn. Of course, my bro Rock Marcy, man, that's my man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a big inspiration. Alchemist too. Big shout out to Alchemist. He's one of the first guys that had the visibility and the platform that he had to give me a chance early on. He reached out to me back in 2011. We cooked up a project called Masterpiece Theater. Came out, I think 2012, I think it was. Like 7 joints, classic. You haven't heard it yet?
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Rosenberg, come on, man. I got to get you on, brother.
Listen, I blame one person, Alchemist. You know? Listen, for me to get Alchemist, for me to get clean songs sent to me from Alchemist, I'm better off getting a drop for my show from Barack Obama. All right. But also he's also Al is so up on things that like sometimes just to be normal, you're a cycle or two behind Al just to be that'll be regular. That's how far ahead.
That's a fact. He reached out to me, man, almost 10 years ago and said, I like your talent. I like what you're doing. You're ushering in this new sound. Let's get together. So me and him sat down and cooked up 7 joints. I got Action Bronson on there. Shout out to Action Bronson. That's my man too. I got Rock Marcy on there. I got Alchemist rapping on there. It's crazy.
You got Al spitting on there too?
Spitting. Go check. When we off this call, just go pull it up, Rosenberg. Just pull it up, man. Masterpiece Theater. Go check it out, man. But yeah, man, those are my guys. Shout out to Action. Shout out to Currency. Shout out to E, man. Shout out to all my people, man.
So what do you think? Like I said, the situation's a little different for you because goal-wise, you don't have to have the same financial needs. You can do this just to make good music. But what do you think sort of like the ceiling is for this sort of hip hop that's being made right now?
I don't think there's a ceiling anymore. I think it's all about setting objectives. What do you want to do? Like, you know, one thing I learned, even if you're not focusing on other things other than music, music, especially how it is right now with streaming and direct to consumer outlets, you could just make a living off of music. You could probably make, 50, 60 grand a year just if you hustle hard enough. That's the same thing as somebody making at the bank or some type of thing. You know what I mean? Like you can make a viable living. I mean, of course, you should aspire for more and try to make millions a year, of course. But I'm just saying, if you're just a person who's just like focused on music and focused on being an artist, I don't think there's any limitations. If you hustle properly, you take it serious, because now we got the beauty of streaming platforms. This shit can be here forever. When you dead and gone, this shit is still gonna be here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, know who your fan base is, know who your listeners are, and target them. The only hit right now is tours. When tours were, you can do shows, there's a lot more money out there, but still, right now, I think as long as you continue to create and talk to your fans and your listeners, there are no limitations.
It's so true. I mean, there was a time, the time when you first came out, because that's when I was really working with artists and trying to come out, was around that same time, a little before you, early 2000s. At that time, the only options were basically be a big commercial star, or you could be like, the biggest of the quote unquote underground. Like you could be Talib, you could be Common.
Right.
Otherwise, there really wasn't a way to do it. Like
there was no middle class.
There was no middle
class. No middle
and
class.
now you are 100% right. You could be a professional musician, the same as being, I guess back in the day, the only equivalent for that would have been someone who was like a touring background musician. Exactly. You're not famous. You don't make music to get famous, but I'm a musician. This is what I do. That's how I eat.
What I do. Exactly.
And now you can do that as a front-facing artist, where you could be someone whose life is hanging in the studio, making music, doing whatever lifestyle you want around that. You might not even be famous at all where you live.
Not famous at all.
but you're
making a living. You're paying your bills, taking care of your family. Like, we dropped some merch for Deutsche Marks too. I think it was like Thursday. I think we sold out in less than 24 hours. I mean, like, and I appreciate all the support from everybody. It was a wonderful thing, but it was another confirmation that, hey, man, there's no excuse. You don't have to wait on anybody. There's no limitations anymore. I learned the lesson from Tech Nine. Shout out to Tech Nine out in Kansas City. A lot of people don't know what Tech Nine is, probably more so now than before. But I remember touring out there with Drama before, and now he had the whole city on tilt. This guy's, well off, man. But he don't have a whole lot of global recognition, but he had enough fans in the region that he can pretty much do whatever he want to do and live the life he want to live. And I want to encourage people, right now is a great time to take advantage of being an artist. As long as you take your business seriously, there are no limitations, man.
Yo, his name is Willie the Kid. Deutsche Marks 2 is out right now. There's a lot more coming, and there's a lot more to find if you go look for it. There's a lot there. Yeah. And listen, I'll just tell you guys right now, Willie the Kid just sent me a verse for something that's some kind of that you will hear ringing off on this radio very soon. It's
say that. Oh man, Rosenberg, say that. When you dropping all of this heat, man.
So I haven't even really done, and I'm good having this conversation, but I haven't even formalized the conversation around it, because I've started conversations about projects so many times and then never got to where I wanted to get from a collecting standpoint. Right. I would say right now, from a music standpoint, I'm 75% done. Okay. So when I get to like 90%, I'll feel comfortable having the plan in place. Honestly, I'm gonna reach out to you, because the truth is, I was joking with Cypher Sounds the other day. Yo, my natural way, and this is unfortunate, but it's true, I play checkers. I am not a chess guy. I'm not. I want to learn chess, but I'm not. Like, the way I move is I am a talent, and I move as a talent and take work. You know what I'm saying? You're a businessman who's talented.
You got it.
I'm a talent who tries to do business.
Say that. Pick your poison, man. Yeah, you got to do work.
It's about what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. So, frankly, when I look back at the bodies of music I've done previously, I've done 2 or 3 tapes that were fire. I look at the collection of artists and songs, was thrilled with them, but they were phenomenal. It was very nominal, the money. It was never a business plan, because, to be honest, and some of it, a lot of it comes from a good place, because I was just about putting out good records.
That's right.
But this time around, I want to set up an infrastructure, so for the years moving forward, I am able to also benefit in this streaming world from all the artists that I support. You know what I'm saying? So for years down the road, everyone's like, yo, Rosenberg, man, he's the first guy who ever played me. That's dope. Oh, yeah, and I help him make some bread years later, too, because we have records together.
That's right.
And I never put that all together. So I would sit here doing all my part, then rappers will blow up and get rich, and you kind of get a little bit of resentment, like, damn, I'm in my same spot doing my thing, and they're out. I can't. So this time I wanted to figure out a way to make it all make sense and start building something. So I want to talk to you about that, because you've obviously figured this out quick.
Of course, brother. But and that's the beauty of the streaming opportunities now. See, now you can make disposable income off streams. So I tell all of my DJ friends, all of my producer friends, I tell them all the time, sign up to put your music on the streaming platforms. I would tell this to my guys, they shoot music videos, but they shot music videos for all of the rappers. You need to find a way to start creating content, music. I'm talking about songs, reaching out to all of the guys who you supported as a DJ, all the guys you supported as a producer, all the guys you supported as a video director, and make compilation albums, 7-8 songs, and throw them shits out, man, and start making some disposable income, some passive income off of music. The opportunities are here.
And if you put out enough over time, you put out, let's say, if over the years you end up looking up, you have 200 songs that are streaming. Even if none of them are smash hits, that's
it don't matter. Pay your mortgage with it. It don't matter.
Yeah, you can pay your mortgage.
Simple shit like that. Just think about it like that as a business. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is, passive income.
I hope the artists listening right now, maybe some old school cats who haven't put out music for a long time, know that if you have any sort of name that people would ever search on Spotify, they'd ever type in, get new music up there, get it streaming. Hell, you can even get old stuff up there, depending on what your old situation was. If you have a label that's completely funked, Just get that music up there. If you get a cease and desist, you get a cease and desist. Get it up.
You might as well. If you can. That's what I always say. Catch me if you can.
Catch people. His name is Willie the Kid, as you see, has business gems, music gems.
Yeah.
Look him up on social media.
Wait till they hear that joint, though, Rosenberg. Wait till they hear that joint.
No, I'm excited.
That's a problem, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
Oh, man. Hats off to you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
His name is Willie the Kid. The throwback is next. It's Real 8 Hot 97.